In 2006, okay, let's read the article so we have a good edit spot. Amber Heard, Elon Musk, and the multi-million-dollar mystery. Testimony in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard defamation trial, plus emails uncovered by Rolling Stone reveal cozy ties between the actress, the billionaire, and the ACLU. Oh yeah, only fan teachers on the side, baby. Get yourself some, teach. In 2016, Amber Heard scored a major PR win in her fledgling battle with ex-husband Donnie Depp, when she announced that she would be donating her entire $7 million divorce settlement to the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. At the time, the move was widely hailed as altruistic. Oh, Amber, you are such a queen. You're a queen. At the time, the move was widely hailed as altruistic, but if it ever came even close to fruition, there's no evidence for it. Years later, the donation is a point of contention in the actor's bitter defamation trial unfolding in Virginia as Depp's lawyers attempt to undermine Heard's credibility by proving not just that she never made anywhere near the full donation, but that she lied under oath about having done so in a separate UK trial involving the couple in 2020. In the process, new information is coming to light about Elon Musk's involvement in the donation controversy and the ACLU's desire to keep everything under wraps. On June 29, 2020, Rolling Stone has learned Depp's legal team sent the first 6 subpoenas to the ACLU to hand over records regarding a $3.5 million donation reportedly made by Heard, but the organizations repeatedly stonewalled Depp's team, forcing the actor to petition a New York court to compel the nonprofit to turn over a cache of documents. That motion was successful, unleashing a torrent of exhibits and testimony that offer a stunning window into how a vulnerable nonprofit became deeply entwined with Heard and Musk. Why? Now, ask yourself, why would the ACLU try so hard to prove that they haven't received a donation? What would that serve? What would that serve? Why would they do that? Why would an organization like the ACLU, an organization that stands up for freedom of speech, an organization that has petitioned for Nazis to march, for the KKK to be able to march freely, why would they want to block that? What would be the reason that they would want to block Johnny Depp's petition? Or what was it? It was called a subpoena. Why would they try so hard? Why would they stonewall him? What would be a reason for that? I don't know. Why are they acting like this is all new? She handed out money and she didn't have. This math is easy as hell, but they want to make it complicated on purpose. They get more media attention so that more people know who they are and donate. Yeah, and maybe they're trying to protect the identity, or are trying to protect people's privacy. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to protect people's privacy. But from the behavior over these past few years from the ACLU, my suspicion is that maybe it fits a certain narrative that was very popular in the last few years, especially back in around 2015, 2016, during the Me Too movement, where a lot of people were being taken down. Most notably, Harvey Weinstein, which obviously should have been done years ago, and not everyone just, thanking him at the Oscars. I want to thank Harvey. Thank you, Harvey. Thank you so much. Your dick tasted beautiful. I know that's gross, but it's like there was a certain narrative that I feel like they're trying to protect here. Like, why would they want, hey, mighty, what's up? Welcome in, mighty. Good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here. The ACLU has been sort of backing censorship. They've been sort of taking sides when they're supposed to be sort of a neutral entity in this country, at least. They're supposed to be. I mean, if you're gonna go to back for the Nazis to march in a Jewish town, like a predominantly Jewish town in Oregon, or if you're gonna back the right for the KKK to march in black neighborhoods, then it's very interesting that you're gonna sit here and sort of stonewall people who are just trying to get the truth out of what happened, especially if it's a donation that never came. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts, just, off the top here. But, let's just keep reading on, because we're going to actually go and watch the testimony here where Amber was talking about this. And it's very, very interesting indeed. Back in June 2017, according to a court testimony, Heard had made only one single payment of $350,000. Heard had only made. Let's try that again. Heard had made only a single $350,000 payment to the ACLU, which remains the only remittance to come directly from her to date. But she was able to reel in a much bigger donor in Musk, one of the world's richest men, whom she dated for about a year just after her divorce from Depp. Rolling Stone has reviewed an email exchange dated that same month between ACLU Executive Director Anthony Romero and Heard, in which Romero gushed. Had a great meeting with Elon. Love that guy. Love you too. Rolling Stone has reviewed this and other correspondence between the ACLU and Heard, which are not part of the court exhibits in Depp v. Heard. 1 year later, Musk tweeted, "I am one of the top donors to ACLU," in which I got to say, Musk on Twitter is very funny. If you guys have been following that dude, he makes some great tweets and he's been talking a lot of shit. By 2018, the ACLU became even more enmeshed with Heard, who had accused Depp of domestic violence. As their brief marriage was unraveling, Depp has denied the claims and says he was the victim of spousal abuse. Now, again, this is up for debate, and we'll see what happens at the end of the trial. I'm not trying to pick sides here, but it does seem like some things aren't adding up. But again, domestic violence in any form is just terrible. It's not good. It's not good. So I'm not defending anybody or anything. Johnny Depp, I'm sure, was being at least cruel. If not physically abusive, I'm sure he was being cruel and verbally abusive. The group approached the actress to write an op-ed about gender-based violence and suggested that she can interweave her personal story, saying how painful it is as a GBV survivor. An ACLU executive wrote in an email read in court, despite the fact that Heard had been arrested for hitting ex-partners Tasia Van Ray during an altercation at an airport in 2009, which I pulled up the article for, an incident that was widely reported well before Heard became an ACLU ambassador. The group doubled down on its relationship with her. Heard was not charged in the incident, and Van Ray later said the events were misinterpreted and over-sensationalized. According to testimony in the defamation trial, the ACLU wound up writing the op-ed and pitched it to the Washington Post, with a member of the communications team writing, "Wonder if we might interest you in a piece by Amber Heard, who, as you may recall, was beaten up during a brief marriage to Johnny Depp, on what the incoming Congress can do to help protect women in similar situations." So not only are they trying to protect the narrative, but they're also trying to sort of keep maybe there's ego involved here. Maybe there's like, well, we've already invested this in her. We've already put our names on the line. We can't go back on what we're saying. We got to double down. And again, this is very interesting, this whole idea that her ex-partner, Tasia Van Ray, which let's jump over and kind of look at that really quickly here. This was back from 2000. 16, and this is right when she was starting the whole op-ed writing and started making accusations against Johnny. I'm not going to share any names, but Pirates of the Caribbean is one of my favorite movies, and that's all I can do is back the franchise. Whatever cast member might be on there, I would have to be obligated to back them too. I'm not with that. I'm not with that. I'm like, if Johnny Depp was really punching this lady, look how small this woman is. This is a very small woman. Like, if he's like close fist punching this woman with rings on, then fuck Johnny Depp. Fuck him in the face. That's horrifying. That is just terrible. I couldn't imagine what terror that must be for her. But the evidence is not clear that that's what was happening. And we'll get to that. Let's just go through this really quickly, and then we'll get back to that. Amber Heard, who claims she was the victim of domestic abuse by Johnny Depp, was herself arrested for domestic violence against her then domestic partner, TMZ has learned. According to law enforcement sources and documents, Amber and Tasia, I don't know how to say her name, got in an argument on September 14, 2009 at the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Amber allegedly grabbed and struck Tasia, I think that's how you say it, in the arm, which upset Tasia and triggered the arrest. Amber was arrested and booked for misdemeanor domestic violence. Her mugshot was taken and she appeared in court the following day. Let's just listen.
This is the state of Washington versus Amber Van Ree, cause number CPS 0.
Amber Van Ree. So she even changed her last name. So they were, I think this was before, is this before gay marriage was put in effect? I'm not sure. Damn, that's not a good look against her. No, it's not. No, it is not. I'm guessing, she's probably been unstable for a very long time. I mean, she's a very good looking young lady. She probably hasn't had a lot of, she's probably gotten her way a lot in life, which, good looking people do end up getting by on their good looks until it blows up in their face. She probably has some unchecked mental issues. Was that hysteria, whatever the hell they called her, whatever that person, spoiled brat is another thing as well. That's another way of putting it. Anyways.
013529, Stephanie Sada on behalf of the state. Ms. Van Ree is present in custody with counsel, and I didn't get your name.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Michelle Shaw, and I apologize. I walked out of the courtroom, Your Honor.
The state is declining to file charges at this time.
Okay, what that means, ma'am, is no charges will be filed against you today. However, that could happen in the future. Therefore, we want to make sure we have your correct address. Sycamore Avenue in Los Angeles, right?
Yes.
So you're notified by me if anything happens within the statute of limitations. Statute of limitations on a case like this is 2 years. So make sure that if your address changes that you notify about it. Otherwise, it could result in warrants, and that would be a DV case. And that can have cross-state implications. So
Thank you.
because you're in California,
Thank you so much.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
Free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And just that quickly, the charges were dropped. TMZ has obtained the audio from the court hearing where the prosecutor declined to move forward with the case. We're told because the women both lived in California, the judge told Amber she was not off the hook. Prosecutors could reconsider and refile within 2 years statute of limitations. Amber thanks the judge and leaves the courtroom. And here's some pictures of the lovely couple. Amber thanks the judge and leaves the courtroom. We reached out to Amber's lawyer. So far, no word back. Where were we? Where is it? Oh, that's Diddy Did It. Come on, bruh. Oh, there it is. So the group doubled down on its relationship with her. So, yeah. Okay. So we left off where the ACLU was pleading or was pitching this op-ed to the Washington Post and was going to back for Amber in domestic violence Okay. So it was a curious pitch considering one of the organization's chief aims is to protect the right of due process. The ACLU's core belief is that people are innocent until proven guilty, and in 2018, these were allegations, not proof. Says University of San Francisco School of Law professor Laura Baselin, who recently addressed the ACLU's tied to Heard Depp case in an op-ed for The Atlantic. For them to write to the Washington Post and say Amber Heard was beaten by Johnny Depp is convicting Johnny Depp before any court had. Their job is to presume innocence because that's what the Constitution requires. So these communications where they're going to bat for her seem wildly at odds with what they're supposed to be doing. Very weird. Now, let's take it easy on the broad. You always have a nice way with words, Samo. Let's take it easy on the broad. Honestly, she's a full-fledged donkey. I've ever seen one. She literally took a deuce like a wild animal in someone's bed. Exactly. Hopefully, she's been potty trained. She's clearly cuckoo for JP Puffs. Yeah, JD Puffs. Yeah. Now that your neck with Johnson allies the third, she will be sitting in all types of female jail. I don't know. I doubt she'll go to jail, but she definitely doesn't have $50 million, so maybe. The Washington Post op-ed became the centerpiece of Depp's defamation claim. The ACLU worked with Heard to make sure the piece would coincide with the release of her film Aquaman, Jesus Christ, and use legal resources to help Heard avoid future litigation with her ex-husband, court testimony revealed. On the day the story hit in December 2018, Heard announced via Twitter that she had been named an ACLU ambassador, writing, "The ACLU is the organization that first inspired me to become an activist. So I couldn't be more excited about our work to make sure women and girls can live free from violence and discrimination." While critics like Baselin suggest that the organization was making a shameless PR grab in its arrangement with Heard, the ACLU counters that its involvement with the op-ed was merely to bring attention to the broader issue of sexual assault and the backlash of survivors face. And the backlash survivors face when they speak out. So noble cause, you know, even if they are convicting someone before there was ever any trials going on. But did the ACLU go even further to help her in helping her to enhance her reputation and fight Depp after he filed his defamation suit against her in 2019? Depp attorney Ben Chu argued in court at the ACLU worked to cover up the fact that Heard never made good on her $3.5 million donation. They helped her lie about it, Chu said, and it's one thing, Your Honor, for her to stiff the ACLU, which frankly played a reprehensible role in this case. It's quite another thing for her to fail on her obligation to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles with sick and dying children, and that she failed to do so as well. So not only are they suggesting that she didn't pay the ACLU the $3.5 million, but the other $3.5 million, which makes up $7 million, which was what she won in the suit against Johnny the first time, she was promised to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, where there's sick and dying children. That's it's weird. Terrence Doherty, General Counsel and Chief Operating Officer of the ACLU, testified in Virginia that Heard made a single donation of $350,000 in 2016, and the organization submitted a thank you letter referring to the transaction dated September 9, 2016. But even that figure, which represents only 10% of her reported gift, is shrouded in mystery. Rolling Stone searched the 990 tax forms for the ACLU and the ACLU Foundation covering the period from April 1st, 2016 through March 31st, 2017, and found no donation matching that dollar figure. In response, the organization tells Rolling Stone that Heard's donation was made through a donor fund that would have kept her name out of its ledgers, and that the dollar figure could have been bundled with other donations. Heard is expected to face questions about her donations to the ACLU when she is cross-examined this week, which, that was good. Doherty, during the testimony, also recharacterized Heard's donation as a pledge. And the organization submitted an undated, unsigned pledge form to the court that it says was created in 2016, but the pledge form was printed on a letterhead featuring the ACLU's centennial logo, raising the prospect that it had been created more recently. The group marked its 100-year anniversary in 2020, the same year Depp's team subpoenaed the ACLU. A spokesperson for the organization said the group had begun using the logo in 2014 for fundraising purposes. Who let that slide by? Now if that was Shaniqua Johnson Elise, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying now, Samo. I totally ran past that one. For a select few, she isn't, unfortunately. I believe that Johnny Depp was cruel like Cinderella's stepmother cruel, and not like Joe Jackson, I'm gonna beat you into a star cruel. He was probably cruel in response to a toxic relationship, is what I'm guessing. Because that's what toxic relationships devolve into. They devolve into cruelty, violence, just awful speaking to just terrible ways of speaking to each other, which is sad. Trying to zoom in here. Let's see. All the while, the ACLU continued to imply that the actress had fulfilled her $3.5 million donation in a December 2018 story in the Hollywood Reporter. The ACLU's director of artist engagement, Jessica Herman Weitz, told this reporter, "I don't think anyone would have looked differently at her if she kept the settlement money that was due to her, but she knew that that money could do more for others than it could for her. What that money was able to do to help protect women and other gender-based violence victims will go a long way to make a difference for the people that we serve." That was my first interaction with her, which is pretty bold. It was not, "I'll throw you a tweet." It was, "I'm putting my money where my mouth is." So someone from the ACLU is literally going in and lying on behalf of Amber Heard. So that's interesting. Why would they do that? That's a very interesting thing that they're doing. Even stranger, ACLU attorney Vera Edelman, there we go, stated in September 13, 2019 email to a redacted group of recipients that the organization planned to file an amicus brief in Depp versus Heard in support of the defendant and asked for consent to the filing. Some attorneys tell Rolling Stone the move seems an odd use of ACLU resources to get involved in what is essentially a high-profile domestic case between celebrities. An ACLU spokesperson counters that its work on behalf of its women's rights project sometimes involves litigation. To date, the ACLU has credited Heard with donated $1.3 million, though most of that appears to have been made by Musk, and $100,000 came via Depp, testimony showed. In their 2017 email exchange, Romero wrote to Heard referring to the philanthropic fund used by anonymous wealthy donors, "We did get a $500,000 check from Vanguard Charitable on 6/9. If this is your gift, I'm guessing you want me to apply that amount to the overall pledge." Heard responded, "Yes, sorry, was not meant to go through Vanguard. I'm back in LA to see E. Elon, and he said that he had a great talk with you. For this part, Doherty testified that the $500,000 came from Musk's account and that an additional $350,000 made anonymously on Heard's behalf in 2018 also likely was made by the Tesla billionaire. He added that no payments have been made by the actress or on her behalf. So could you imagine? Could you imagine having that kind of control over somebody's pocketbook like that? She's like, Elon, you like this, don't you? You like this, daddy, don't you? Don't you like me? Don't you love me, puppy? You need to donate all that money, bitch. You need to cough it up, ho. She had Elon Musk paying her pledges so she could keep her $7 million, because you know what? She's going to need that $7 million. She is going to need, I believe. So did anybody check and see if Depp did any philanthropic things? No, because he hasn't pledged any. He's not the one who's like, I'm going to donate money to ACLU to stop domestic violence. I'm sure he has a myriad of charities, because that's how rich people get out of paying taxes. But still, I'm not sure. And that's really not the question. You know what I mean? And it does seem like he did donate some money on behalf of her. He donated 1.3. Most of it appears to be by Musk, and $100,000 came via Depp, testimony showed. So he did donate $100,000. So so if you were a billionaire, is that drama worth it? It must be worth it. It must be worth it. Know what I think is she brought Elon Musk money in, and she's like, good enough. ACLU ran pimp game is a you still owe me some money ho. He's done things. Yeah, he's bought land and donated. Yeah, I know. And I'm sure he was like, okay, this is fine, and I can write this stuff off. But it's just very interesting to me that she has that kind of sway over somebody. It must be some good. Heard's team declined to comment about why she testified in a UK trial that she had donated. They declined to comment. She had donated the full $7 million to charity, but sources close to the actress claims that she has been forced to spend $6 million of her own money defending herself against Depp's suits. A Depp spokesperson counters Miss Heard had the entirety of the divorce settlement in her possession for well over a year before Johnny began any legal proceedings against her. Within 5 minutes of receiving the funds, she could have written a check to support sick children at the CHLA and advance the cause of the ACLU, but she did neither. All the while publicly claiming it had already been done. Not only publicly claiming, but under oath. Under oath, she had said that she had done it. Not only publicly, but under oath. Very interesting. Oh, we made it through the whole article. Okay, well, I guess this is a good article, I guess. Though Heard and Musk had called it quits by 2018, his relationship with the ACLU continues to go strong. The nonprofit says Musk has donated $6 million to its coffers to date, while declining to clarify to Rolling Stone the timing of his gifts. Last week, the organization endorsed the would-be Twitter owner's statement that he would re-platform Donald Trump. So there you go. ACLU is just like, yeah, well, that's cool. Re-platform Donald Trump. She got yeeted. How can we politely say that she got by? Any chance that Musk might shine light on the ACLU matter appears slim. Depp's lawyers were unable to serve Musk, and he never sat for a deposition though Heard included Musk on her witness list. He has indicated that he has no plans to take the stand. So there you go. Musk is like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going over there with this crazy lady. Come on now. The Me Too movement need to tell her to shut up. I can't believe women if they keep lying in public. In those words of Samo, come get your girl. Yo, come get your girl, man. Come on, baby. Come get that shit. This, if it does turn out that Amber Heard is lying, and it's proven in court that she's lying, this is a really big slap in the face to women who have suffered these kind of horrors in their life. No woman deserves to be beaten or sexually assaulted. That's just, it's awful. So, yeah, if she is lying and crying, fake crying, and doing all this stuff, if it does come to light, if a court of law decides that she is lying like that, hey, Morby, what's up, Morbs? Welcome in. Good to see you. If it does turn out that she is lying, then that is unfortunately, I would say, a big setback for women in their cause. Morbs, finally made it. All good. You're here now. You're here now. Welcome in, my friend. It's good to see you. Did I miss Mac Miller? No, you haven't. We went right to the juice. Well, we went to Da Baby, but Mac Miller is coming up right after we dive into this Amber Heard stuff, because this stuff is so crazy. So let's watch a little bit of this testimony, and I think she just jumps right into it. So
this entire trial, has he?
Not that I've known.
Mr. Depp hasn't looked at you once this entire trial, has he?
Not that I've noticed, no.
You've looked at him, though, many times, haven't you?
this is the cross-examination.
Yes, I have.
This
You know
lawyer
exactly why Mr.
is
Depp won't look
unrelenting.
back at you, don't you?
I do.
He promised you you would never see his eyes again. Isn't that true?
I don't recall if he said that.
One of the last times you ever saw Mr. Depp was when you met him in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
That was the second to last time I saw him, yes.
Hey, Chris Thompson
And this is
Music.
after
Good to
had
see you, bud.
publicly accused him of domestic violence.
I got my restraining order before that, yes.
And this is after you had obtained the domestic violence restraining order against him.
That's correct.
Let's please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 1229.
So basically, the lawyer was saying is like, he hasn't made eye contact with you this whole time, and why is that? Well, we're about to find out why he doesn't want to make eye contact with her. I'm 5 away from 400. Hey, Chris Thompson Music. Let's get a shout out going for Chris Thompson Music. If you haven't followed yet, go follow Chris Thompson. We're trying to get him to 400. Let's go. All right, here we go.
No, a hug will save it all. All this, everything we just
I just wanted to touch you.
Really? After all this you just said?
I just wanted to give
After
you
all this
yes,
used me up, you
yes,
want to
please,
touch me?
please stop me. Please stop. Please, I just wanted to hug you and say bye. I didn't want to take it back.
We did that last night. It's fine. That was good enough. No, because I'm nothing to you, and I will always be nothing to you.
Calm.
What? You're not my shrink. No, you're in No, we'll never see each other again. You won't don't take my glasses off. You don't like you looking at not my eyes. You will not see my eyes again.
That is some hard words exchanged there. There has to be, especially if she had suffered all the things that she has suffered, that she claims that she has suffered. That must be terrible. But that is rough. That is very rough. Could you imagine? I will never make eye contact with you again. You'll never see my eyes again. It's very sad, very deep. That's hard hitting, but the lawyers over here making some points. So let's get back into this.
That's you and Mr. Depp in that recording.
That is.
And this is from when you and Mr. Depp met in San Francisco in July of 2016, right?
Yes, that's what it sounds like. That was In the hotel. We met once after that as well.
This is after you publicly accused him of domestic abuse.
Yes, and got my TRO.
And he tells you you will not see my eyes again, doesn't he?
Yes, he does in that recording.
And he kept that promise, hasn't he?
As far as I know, he cannot look at me.
He won't look at you, right, Miss Heard?
He can't.
Which I gotta say, that was good. That was a good move on her, right? Not that he won't, he can't. Why can't he? Because she's accusing him of something. So he can't look at me. That's a good move on her behalf. That's a good move. That's a solid move. But her body language is so like above everyone. You know, she has that like that nose up thing. Remember that? This dude looks like he's working on a script. He does the whole time. Yo, he's like making jokes with the lawyer during this thing. He's like laughing. He's like flirting with the lady lawyer. I can't remember her name. Vasquez, is that her name? He doesn't want to give her that anymore. How I interpret it. Yes, that's how I interpret it as well. The way I see it, he's like, you'll never get anything from me again, and making especially eye contact. You're not going to get these. Which is that's very hardcore. I agree, Morby.
One of the first questions your counsel asked you on direct is, why are you here? Do you remember that?
I do.
Let's please play Plaintiff Exhibit 357A, which is already in evidence, Your Honor. And for the record, it's 2122 through 2140.
Let's hear it.
And see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and yes. It's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
That's your voice on that recording, right?
Yes, it is.
Tell the world, Johnny. Tell the world. Megan Thee Stallion taking freaking notes. Amber Heard should be tutoring Megan Thee Stallion to be a believable lie. But if she's lying, then she's not very believable. She might just be socially awkward, right? And if she is telling the truth, maybe she's just socially awkward, but she just doesn't seem to be genuine in her testimonies. Even when she's crying, there's no tears coming down. It's very, very odd. Very odd. And man, the other day I was about to report on the Megan Thee Stallion that's a doctor's report got leaked that they removed glass from her ankle, but then that was debunked because the police report does say that there was bullets removed or shells or casings or not casings but bullet fragments from Megan Thee Stallion's ankle. So it was debunked, and I did not report on it because it was a fake leak, I think.
You were speaking with Mr. Depp?
Yes.
And you said to Mr. Depp, quote, you can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and the judge think. Tell the world, Johnny.
Yes, fake news indeed.
Tell them, Johnny Depp, Johnny Depp, a man, a victim too of domestic violence, end quote. That's what you said, right?
I was saying it to the man who beat me up, yes.
Ms. Heard, you testified to an incident in March of 2013 where Mr. Depp hit you in the face multiple times. Do you recall that?
That's correct.
And you testified, quote, you don't know how many times he hit you in the face.
That's correct.
So Mr. Depp hit you in the face multiple times while he was wearing rings on this occasion, correct?
Which occasion in March are you referencing? You weren't
The
specific.
testimony that you gave on day 15 of this trial, March of 2013. You weren't specific as to the day.
There were some.
So this is where they're talking about, if he would have hit you with rings on, it would have been a lot more damage. After this case is over, Johnny Depp is going to be like, I settled all my lawsuits. Fuck you, Amber. I know she's regretting the hell out of saying that. If she really was all beat up over this, she wouldn't. Well, that's the thing. That's a lot of what people are saying is like her reactions is not matching that of someone who has been beaten as mercilessly as she is saying. Again, I don't know. We don't know for sure. We can't know who's telling the truth or not. We can only go by exterior exterior emotions and what she's projecting, and what she's projecting does not match on how domestic violence victims act and react to these kind of situations.
Several incidents.
The one where he hit you several times in the face.
Several incidents in March, which knew him to wear rings.
Okay, let's please.
I pretty much always knew him to wear rings.
Okay, let's please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 170A, which is already in evidence, Your Honor. You testified that this is a picture you took after that incident, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes, that was one where he grabbed me.
And hit you in the face so many times that you don't remember. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And there's no injuries to your face in this picture, are there?
Not that.
If somebody with rings on hit you in the face repeatedly, a man, and especially a woman of this stature. Mighty, thank you so much for contributing to the DJ Vinyl set. If anybody else wants to donate some fresh bars to the vinyl DJ set for our 2-year stream anniversary, feel free. It's free. Go ahead. But if someone of Johnny Depp's stature, who is he's kind of a bigger dude now, but I mean, he probably works out. He probably has something going on. This bruise right here seems like the very least of something. I mean, he might have gripped her up hard, and that's unreasonable as well. You can't just be gripping up little girls like that. But still, if he was hitting someone in the face with rings on, is this how a face would look?
This picture shows.
And there's no medical records reflecting that you sought treatment after this alleged incident either.
I did not seek medical treatment at this time.
You testified that you were also raped with a liquor bottle in Australia, right, Ms. Heard?
Yes.
You testified you bled from your vagina as a result of that sexual assault.
Yes.
There aren't any medical records reflecting that you sought medical treatment for any of these injuries, are there?
I did not seek medical treatment after Australia, no.
Not for the rape?
No, I did not want to tell anyone.
Not for the cuts?
No.
So many of these cases of rape go unchecked and unreported because of the shame that comes with it. And so if she is telling the truth, it is not beyond the scope of possibilities that she, because of shame or whatever the reason is for a woman, which, I don't know. Again, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Same-o, thank you so much for contributing to the DJ Finals. Like I would just skip from one Hey, we hit it, guys. We hit it. Oh, shit. We hit it, y'all. We're in. We hit our goal. God, we're going from one subject to yay! One horrible subject today. All right, guys. So we'll probably end up doing the DJ Vinyl set probably sometime next week. So, hey, let's go. Let's go. I once knew a very violent guy who helped me get vegetables, and he is beating his girlfriend like he is. She said he hit her with a clothing iron. Oh, God. And he was like, bitch, she would be dead if she did that. So she totally ruined her case by lying. It wasn't necessary. Yeah, I mean, that's the other part about this is that people lie. People make shit up. People get vindictive. People get angry. People get jealous. People have these emotions and they're like, I'll show this motherfucker. It happens. That does happen. If she was really, if she really was all beat up over this, she wouldn't be able to look at him in the face. But it looks like she looks at him every 5 seconds, like I'm gonna look at him. That's something a manipulator would do. Yeah, and we kind of went over that, especially with the body language lady, how she was saying, that she doesn't exhibit the stuff, but. Man who thinks of going to the popo who will probably victim shame you anyway in your lowest moments. Yeah, that too. What were you wearing? Miss Depp, what were you wearing the night that he allegedly violated you? All right, Just Joanne, have a great time. Thanks for stopping through. Johnny Depp has more accessories than Claire's jewelry store. There would be some type of imprint. How many rings and wraps and scars he has? Yeah, it would be. There would be a lot more.
Not for the injuries to your face.
I didn't need to.
Sir, let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1090, which is already in evidence.
All right,
I started taking pictures of it.
And you sent it to her
This
on August 7th.
this is him all passed out with ice cream on his lap. She was sending this to her friends, and the case that they're making here is like, if you're afraid of a monster, if he is the violent monster, why would you take pictures and send them to your friends? And that's kind of the case they're making at this point. But I'm trying to get to the point about the ACLU.
Opiate Johnny, or the monster as you called him, would get upset that you sent this picture to your friend.
Well, he's all of those things.
End quote. Your entire divorce settlement to charity.
Okay,
right?
Here we go. This is
End
the
quote.
ACLU
Your
stuff we were just
October
talking about.
2018 interview, you said that you had, quote, donated, end quote, your entire divorce settlement to charity, right?
That's correct.
Yes, you
And
can.
in fact,
Morgan.
your exact words were, quote, $7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, end quote. Right?
That's correct. I made that statement as soon as I got a divorce and we reached the settlement. That's when I pledged it, right then.
And you say this because you, quote, wanted nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire $7 million settlement to charity at that point, had you?
That's incorrect.
Sitting here today, Ms. Heard, you still haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety of the
Ms. Heard,
settlement, $7 million
my
to
question.
charity, and I
Ms. Heard,
intend to
Ms.
fulfill
Heard.
That's
those
not what she
obligations.
said.
That's not my question. Please,
What was
try
your
to answer
question?
my question. Sitting here today, you have not donated the $7 million, donated, not pledged, donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another. They're
But I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Heard, I don't use it synonymously.
That's how donations are paid.
Ms. Heard,
Who is using those synonymously? Those are two very different things. Oh, thank you, Raina, for Mexican. We're gonna stop doing that. We'll take that up. We'll do a Baby Yoda interview in a little while. Well, we got this is too heavy for Baby Yoda, so we're gonna get through this. Come get your girl. Who is using that synonymously? Donate and pledge. Donate and pledge. Pledge. I pledge of allegiance. I don't donate allegiance. I pledge it. I guess that's not a good example. I pledge to pay my rent. Exactly. I pledge to pay my rent. But I never but yeah. Anyways, let's see her press. This is great. This is a great part because she presses. I love this lawyer.
Heard, respectfully, that's not my question. As of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
You had all of the $7 million for 13 months before Mr. Depp sued you, and you chose not to pay it to the charities you pledged it to. Is that correct, Ms.
I
Heard?
disagree with your characterization of that.
Most of the money that was donated to the ACLU and CHLA in your name came from someone else. Isn't that right?
I don't know what you mean by most of.
Well, at least $500,000 that was donated to the ACLU in your name wasn't paid by you, right?
I believe Elon made a donation in my honor on one of the
In my
years.
honor.
And it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement, right?
No, nor did it count towards my pledge.
And at least $500,000 that was donated to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles in your name wasn't paid by you either.
Right, those were made at the same time.
And it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement.
Nor did it count to my 3.5 obligation.
Those $500,000 payments came from your new boyfriend, Elon Musk, right?
I don't know if he was a new boyfriend at the time.
You got him to pay part of what you promised to these two charities, didn't you?
Incorrect.
Because you wanted to keep at least some of the $7 million divorce settlement for yourself, right?
You're very wrong about that.
I think this, if Your Honor is
Okay,
fine,
you said-
this is a good...
This is a good time to stop. Oh shit. Oh my god. Yeah, so that was the key right there. You know, she's sitting here playing games and you know, splitting hairs over busting nuts. What the fuck? She's over here splitting hairs about donating and pledging and stuff. So like, what is that? Why would she do that? I pledged to pay my rent. You gotta start making that happen. I agree with your sentiment. I'm gonna start pledging a lot of stuff. Yeah, I can pledge all I want, but did I actually pay? Did I pay up? I donate my rent because I'm rich and my landlord needs help. She's going around and around the bush. Yeah, that just seems odd. Hold on. Baby burps. But I want to learn how to be as avoidant as Amber. Oh, just become a politician. They're really good at it. Just repeat the question back to it and then switch subjects. So did you pledge? Did you donate $7 million? Well, you know, I do want to donate $7 million, and I do plan on donating $7 million. But what is really bothering me is how much domestic violence is affecting the younger generation, and how can we fix it? That's what I want to know. Divert. Just divert. Just switch it up. Politicians do it all the time. Yeah. This she's about to run for office, son. What else do we got on here? Let's see what else we got here. We got okay, so she's also been accused of sniffing something, and we kind of went over that, how she's been there's been sniffing going on, but where's day 2? Because she has day 2. What is this, Camille? This isn't it. Damn it. So that was day 1. That was like the highlights of day 1 of the trial. Day 2. Here's the highlights of day 2. Now I haven't gone over too much of this, but it's Nikki. How can she keep a straight face? Because she's a bad actress. She's a hardcore lawyer. I'll remember to call her if I need to get if I get into major trouble. It's really just as simple as, you know, you repeat the question back and you just go somewhere else with it. And it's just like, it's just a tool. It's another tool. Did you donate $7 million? That's a great question. Let me answer that by asking you this. How great is America? Huh? Round of applause for the immigrants. Am I right? Hey! Immigrant! Oh, yeah. Amber Heard gifted a knife to Johnny Depp. Why? So I haven't really gone over day 2, and it's live. I think it's still live right now. But
that you gave Mr. Depp a knife. So it was during these cycles of violence in 2012 that you gave Mr. Depp a knife as a gift.
I gave him a knife, I think for a birthday present early in our relationship. I believe it was around 2012, but I'm not certain.
We've seen a picture of that knife.
Oh, I forgot. The one thing about the bruise. Okay, hold on. I wanted to bring that. That's what I wanted to bring up. There was the bruise kit. So, oh God. Let's not hear that. So there was controversy over the bruise kit when she was still being when her lawyers were still asking her questions. And so this is kind of telling as well. And so this is like, she into that kinky shit. That's how you can hurt me more. Give abuser a knife. Yeah, right. We'll come back to that.
Bruise color, the blues, and whatever color you're working with on the bruise.
Defendant's Exhibit
if you could by the microphone, please.
Oh.
Just we can't hear you. There you go.
May I approach?
This is her lawyer,
to...
who's been doing a terrible job.
Counsel.
We'll come back to the knife and stuff.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about as a color correction kit. This is not obviously the exact one I used to carry, but I used to carry it with me all the time. Sometimes this pink is sometimes a little bit more purple of a hue, and sometimes the kits are 3 colors. You can get them in 3 or 4 colors. Sometimes they have even more. But the idea is that you want to counteract whatever color you're working with on the bruise. So the first day of bruising, well, the immediate is red. Red is what shows up right away, so you want to go with the opposite on the color wheel by dabbing on a bit of the green or something to counteract the red. After a day or 2, you get more purple in a bruise, so you'd obviously have to go with more of the red tones, the orange tones.
So they actually call these bruise kits, okay? And let's go over here and let's just look up a bruise kit. And she actually calls it a bruise kit. So this is what she's talking about. These are bruise kits. Now, this is for the intention of creating the illusion of bruises. And let's just watch this.
The Narrative Cosmetics Bruise Effects wheel includes 6 highly pigmented colors to create a variety of different bruises, from fresh to old, aged bruises. The cream makeup can be applied with a brush, sponge, or finger, and layered or thinned with alcohol. After applying, set the cream makeup with a makeup sealer or setting powder. To remove, simply use soap and water or a makeup remover. The Bruise Effects wheel is a staple for any makeup artist working on special effects projects.
So they call it a bruise kit, and she calls it a bruise kit. Let's see, if you use my code HERD for 15% off the link below, you too can get yourself a bruise kit. Okay.
Day 2 for me was always the trickiest because day 2 just, I feel like, well, day 1 and day 2 are hardest for me because that's when you get the most blues and purples and you have to deal with the sensitivity. Bruises don't like to be touched. That's the whole point.
They don't like it.
So that's the trickiest part. But after a few days, that becomes more of that blue becomes more of a brown, yellowish browns, like 5-7 days in, becomes more of a yellow green, and then fades into a brown, and then into your skin. And whatever color you're working with in the bruise, you want to go opposite color on the color wheel. The opposite, in the first couple of days, you have more of the typical bruise color, the blues and
whatever.
The purples. You want to go more of the orange on the color wheel as opposed to the greens that you start with, and then it progresses from there. I also noticed that bruising on your face.
The breaking point after the makeup. You said that you didn't testify. You didn't wear any makeup that day. We've heard all kinds of things about makeup in this case. Could you please tell the jury what your regular routine was with respect to makeup?
Yes, I get up and wash my face like most of us, and I put on right away a moisturizer.
Sure.
And then I put another foundation reacts to the sun in a bad way. So I have to wear sunscreen or sunblock. Both of those. I put on concealer, and I do that before I
this is our makeup tutorial
in the morning. Okay. That's obviously if I don't have a bruise.
Now, when you had bruises or cuts of any nature, what would you do about those? Would you try to cover them up? Would you try to just leave them showing? What would you do?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Overruled out loud. Go ahead.
Well, I'm typically photographed in LA when I leave the house, paparazzi type of photograph. So I'm somewhat aware of that anyway. And no woman wants to walk around with a bruise on her face. So if I do have a bruise on my face or someplace visible, the main thing, you have to ice right away to reduce swelling, because no amount of makeup can fix swelling, but it's very manageable if you ice it really soon. Arnica is also a great remedy, Arnica cream. And then if you want to cover up a bruise, you obviously put foundation first, concealer, and then on top of that, I use a bruise kit. Not a bruise kit, it's a theater makeup kit, a color correction kit, but I called it my bruise kit.
Not a bruise kit. I mean, it's theater. I mean, I called it my bruise kit. That's what I called it. And wait a second, lady. No, that's what they're called. They're called bruiser. They're called bruise kits. So look, Amber Heard's reference to bruise kit makeup. So it's kind of hard. She called it a. Yes. Oh shit. Okay, so back to day 2. Where's the day 2 cross-examination? We'll go through a little bit of this, and then we'll start getting on. We'll start moving on since we've been on this for a while. But yeah, it's a little sketchy, Amber. Again, I'm not taking sides here, but you just called it a bruise kit, sweetie.
I think we should bring out the real thing.
Let's bring it out, baby.
Master Deputy Halusa, Master Deputy Sheriff Halusa, may I please have you show the knife to Miss Heard?
Jesus.
Yes, that's it.
That's the knife you gave to the man who was hitting you, right, Miss Heard?
I wasn't worried he was going to stab me with it when I gave it to him, that's for certain.
But you gave it to him while he was abusing you, allegedly.
I gave it to him.
No, this is day 2.
Testified to being bent over backwards on the bar, right?
That is correct.
And then feeling pressure on your pubic.
But it was definitely that I didn't seek treatment.
Debbie Lloyd also came to the house that
Travis, no.
That day.
I believe that evening I saw her at dinner.
Okay. And then you saw Erin Barenth, right?
I did not.
Her testimony, wasn't it?
I don't recall what her testimony was with regards to that one incident, no.
You actually filed a complaint against Miss Lloyd's nursing license right before she was supposedly deposed in this case, didn't you?
No, I don't believe I did.
Are you aware that someone filed a complaint against Miss Lloyd's nursing license in connection with her care of Mr. Depp for failing to report abuse?
No, I had no idea. You're the first person to let me know about that.
Oh,
It's your testimony under oath, that wasn't you?
That is my testimony. I didn't even know about that until now.
Travis McGivern was also present when Mr. Depp supposedly attacked you, correct?
He walked in at some point.
And you heard his testimony that it was actually you who punched Mr. Depp. Isn't that right?
It's always been my own testimony that I hit Johnny.
And you who was throwing things at Mr. Depp.
I hit him in defense of my sister. I didn't have anything to throw at him. I never threw anything at him.
So this is day 2. Maybe we should go and get into the live for a little bit. Let's get into the live stream right now. All these can be found on YouTube. All the highlights is on the highlight wheel, the reels. But this is live. Let's just see where they're at. And then we'll cover them more on Friday for music news on Friday, and then we'll move on to our next story because there's just only so much Amber Heard I can deal with. What she didn't know about her own testimony. No, that's the thing that I guess that we're trying to look at here is that there's just so many inconsistencies on her behavior, on her testimonies, on her, I didn't know that, I didn't know this. There was no medical records of even though he allegedly, cut me in my vag with a bottle, and again, I don't want to take away from victims. I'm not trying to ever victim shame because that's ridiculous. That's horrifying. For if she was violated with a bottle and didn't go to the cops, or if she is getting beaten and not going to the cops, that's very common. It's very common. So not to take away from anything that she might or may not have suffered from, but there is no medical records to back up her stories. And there is a makeup artist who has testified that she did have to cover up bruises, but then I think a hairstylist that same day has a conflicting testimony where she says there was no visible marks. So the one lady who is her friend, the makeup artist who is her friend, says that there was marks that they were catching, that they were covering up, and then the one lady who I don't know if it's her friend or not, but it was her hairdresser, said that there was no physical marks. So there's a lot of conflicting testimonies. There's a lot of conflicting things. There's her friends that she calls friends. I heard that earlier in the live, that there was this guy, I think his last name was Drew or something, and he was talking about how he did see bruises on her face. So, these are people who are friends. He says that he was never coerced into saying something, but still, it's very, lots of conflicting things. But of course, there's $50 million on the line here. So there's going to be some conflicting testimonies here. I hope that any abused women people learn from this trial that if they are actually beat, raped, abused, that they get checked by doctors, police, or basically anyone with authority. Yeah, I agree. If anybody's ever suffered that shit, they need to go to the police, get this shit checked out, have that evidence so they can stop these fucking animals in their tracks. And that's a lot of the I stand with Amber Heard, the movement, the hashtag that's going around right now, is that, that the idea that she's being under such scrutiny is going to prevent other women from wanting to come forward. And I don't know if that's true or not, because there's already an issue with that. And I don't know if this is going to perpetuate that, but that is a big part of it, is that this trial is going to prevent women from going to the police, from standing up to their abusers any way they can, and which I hope that it doesn't. But she said the opening record of court, who's going to believe you if she is lying? She knew society was going to take her side. Yes, exactly. Especially at that moment in time in 2015, 2016, at the height of the Me Too movement, that people were gonna take your side, and it was believe all women, right? Believe all women. And again, people lie, people are mad, people get vindictive, people get jealous. I mean, literally, we've seen this trope in movies where the movie villain reveals the plan. She's revealed her plan, before it even started, right? And who fucking records each other? What kind of couple? If it's getting to the point where you have to record the other person to make sure that you cover your ass, then it's time to go. And Johnny Depp should have known better. But so this is the live feed. We'll stick with this. We'll see what happens here for a second, and then we'll move on.
Prior to the night of May 21, 2016, had a man ever charged at you holding a Magnum bottle of wine, screaming profanities?
Objection.
And what was your reaction to this event when it happened on May 21, 2016?
Fear.
Besides the screaming and the door slamming,
I guess he did try to
and
leave.
the wine waving, do you recall anything else about Mr. Depp's actions that evening? During that moment, I guess I should say.
There's erratic. I would describe it as erratic behavior.
Was anyone else with Mr. Depp when he charged into Penthouse 5?
Behind him were two men.
What about Ms. Heard?
No.
What about Ms.
She looks like she's falling asleep or something.
So you testified that after Mr. Depp burst into the apartment and started charging towards you, that you darted out and hid in, I believe it's a communal exercise area, is that correct?
Yeah. I darted out and went up the stairs and hid somewhere over by there.
Why did you hide?
Because I was scared.
Sorry, say again. Why did you hide?
Because I was scared.
What were you scared of?
I just didn't know what he would do. I didn't.
Oh, this is her friend.
I didn't know what he would do.
And the he there is who?
Johnny.
What were you thinking when you were hiding?
What were you thinking? But just like a football team losing, they're not going to want to hold the L. I'm already over here with my Ouija board summoning up Freddie Mercury to cue up We Are the Champions. Let me know if you get Freddie. Yeah. We are the champions, my friends. So does Johnny, it's probably hot and boring in there. Yeah, no, it probably is. I mean, what's funny is that they've been showing a lot of different interactions between him and Miss Vasquez. I think that's her name. The lawyer lady who's been fucking just curb stomping Amber Heard. They've been like holding hands and getting all flirty. And then you see Amber looking, I don't like that. I don't like it. So this is her friend testifying in the case last year. And I heard from her other friend in this same trial. And, you know, if they are covered... Oh, look at the chat. It's going nuts. Hold on. Let's see. She's high. But you stayed, huh? Everyone caught lying. She should be held in contempt. That's the whole Amber Turd lie crew. Yeah, so there's lots of speculation that all of her friends are covering for her. And this is what today was about. Hey, what's up, Disgustoned? Welcome back, my friend. We're just going over an Amber Heard case. And this is the live feed right now. We're about to move on to our next story. But welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. This is just fascinating to me. This is just so fascinating. I tell you, if you think you're innocent, you would not act like, you would not like to be a fake witness. So scary, but full of smiles. Oh shit, yeah. She's smiling while she tells
Josh's apartment.
But smiling is also a
and did you do as Ms. Pennington
a form
said,
of a reactionary
sitting here today,
reactions.
Do you remember what you were thinking as you were sort of coming out of your hiding spot and
Junkie Kardashian?
Penthouses again?
I think the whole thing was just bizarre, like really frightening and bizarre to me. I don't specifically remember what I was thinking other than like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened, you know?
They've been calling them freeloaders a lot. A lot of people in chat's been calling these guys freeloaders, all living off Johnny's dollar.
I was thinking that. I don't remember specifically.
It does look like VHS tape, doesn't it?
You're referring to there.
Looks like shit.
When you got to Miss Pennington's and Mr. Drew's penthouse.
Looks like she's lying.
Who'd you see? Who was there?
I don't remember who was specifically there when I first walked in, but throughout the time being in there in that moment.
Perjury.
Amber, Raquel.
Team Amber.
Josh. And maybe like just by peeping into the hallway, one of the police officers.
So they're talking about an incident that happened where Johnny came in yelling and screaming and because he was mad, and then he went up to Josh, I think that's his name, and started screaming at him. And Josh said he left, but he forgot his dog, so he went back. And Johnny was smashing shit and breaking shit, and that's when they were taking pictures of her bruises and stuff. But who knows? Who knows what was happening? She blinking like every 2 seconds. Yeah, she is. You counting it? Listen. She does look. Look, she's drinking a LaCroix. Get out of here.
You saw Miss Heard after you came back down from your hiding spot and you're in Mr. Drew's and Miss Pennington's apartment. How did she look?
She looked frazzled and just completely disheveled. Her hair was all over the place. She had a swollen face. Looked like she had been crying. And yeah.
Do you think the swollen face was a result of her having been crying?
No.
What do you think it was a result of?
It looked like she'd been like hit in some way. Like it was not from crying. She had markings on her face.
Were the marks that you saw on Miss Heard's face after you came down from your hiding spot present when you had been hanging out with her earlier in the day?
No.
You testified earlier today that you witnessed some, I believe it was Miss Pennington or Mr. Drew, take some photos of Miss Heard's face. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I'd like to mark what will be Mars Exhibit 13. Miss Mars, as the court reporter hands you Exhibit 13, I'll represent to you that these were some photos taken on the night of May 21st, 2016. So if you turn to the second photo in the set, do you recognize the person in this photograph?
Yes.
Who is it?
Amber.
And do you see any marks on her face in this photograph?
Yes.
And do these marks look like the marks that you saw in person on her face on the evening of March 21, 2016?
Yes.
Yes.
And just to clarify, these marks were not on her face when you saw Miss Heard earlier that same afternoon and were helping Miss Pennington make beads.
Correct.
There are other photos in this set. Why don't we turn back to the first one? Some broken frames on a bed. Do you know what this picture is of?
Yeah, I mean, this is...
Whether you went second photo in the set.
Correct.
So if you just got punched in the face, like they were saying, because this was a friend gathering, right? And they were all making arts and crafts and drinking wine or whatever. That was what the premise of the night was. All of her friends were over there, and Johnny came home like a raving maniac and was angry in his penthouse. So if you were to get punched or slapped in the face, is this how you would look? Or would you be more swollen? Would you be... I mean, she's definitely playing the part of a DV victim here, but I don't know. That doesn't look like... I mean, if a man's hand came, and even if he open-faced slapped you, which can be worse than a full-on punch, honestly. It can really fuck somebody up with a slap. If someone like that, is that what would that be the picture that you would see? Let's catch up here. What's going on? Yo, man, they got the filter in courtroom. A VHS, LOL, shoot probably. If they got any further back, she'll probably be Betamax and Laserdisc. Oh, shit. She's blinking every 2 seconds. Yeah, she is. And she does look high. She does look high. She does look fucked up. She looks so sus. Of course, she's drinking LaCroix. She ain't got good taste. LaCroix, a couple summers ago, had a little pesticide scare in their drinks. Had to put them off the shelf real quick. Oh, yeah, right? I thought it was engine coolant, but maybe it's pesticide. Bro, I think she actually looks quite bad. Yeah, this looks bad to you? Yeah, it might be. No, and again, I don't want to... Even the skin's broken. Yeah, it looks a little broken here, right? But swollen, I would say swollen is what you would see more of. But I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to take sides here. I don't want to sit here and be like, hey, this lady's lying. I'm just saying, is this what it would look like? Is this... And yeah, there's little marks here. Maybe this is a little bruising here in her eye. So yeah, maybe. Maybe it was soon. Maybe it was too soon. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Morby. Maybe it is too soon. Absolutely. And I won't discount that. I won't discount that at all. Because I want whatever justice to come to the light. And if that means Johnny Depp is a raging maniac who's beating the shit out of women, then he needs to go to jail. He needs to fucking, fuck him. If it turns out she's the abuser, then she needs to go to jail. She needs to pay up. Fuck her. But right now, it just, there's a lot of inconsistencies here. And Johnny Depp has been seemingly the most consistent one in all of this. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to see some slap peep samples. Johnny, can you please stand up here and slap this full-grown man, for example? We're gonna have to see a little more evidence on this.
There are other photos in this set. Why don't we turn back to the first?
Between all the penthouse apartments.
saw it, was it broken? No. And what, if anything, do you remember about...
Okay, so again, we'll be going over the highlights of this on Friday, of course, because why wouldn't we? One more thing from this. This is pretty interesting to me.
Suspicion or doubt, and it would make things...
Testifying against Johnny Depp and sitting literally a few feet away from the judge. But is this really true, or is it just another crazy conspiracy theory about this already bizarre trial? Well, there's a lot of talk out there about Amber's strange behavior on the witness stand, and many fans pointed out that she looked medicated while giving her testimony. One Twitter user said, "Amber Heard appears to be medicated, although this isn't confirmed, but you can see as it appears her medication wears off. She's already rolling her eyes, giving angry looks when Camille Vasquez wins an objection. She appears scripted to a degree and embellishes." And by the way, here's an example of Amber's mood changing in a split second, which definitely makes her look like she's filming a scene and then snapping out of her character.
Your Honor, I'm going to object on hearsay.
Your Honor, I'm going to, let's pull up 188A. I've redacted everything but what Mr. Depp says.
She sure did
there
change
are
that.
also a lot of parody videos on TikTok of fans making fun of Amber's strange behavior in court.
My dog stepped on a bee.
My dad has to pee.
I ran out of coffee and had to make myself some tea.
My bank charged me a lot of fees.
Johnny, why is our carpet so dirty? With this dirty.
So here you go. Look at what she's doing right here.
It's still hearsay.
But let's
weird.
watch the sniffing video one more time. What do you think Amber was doing here?
She's looking down her lap.
It doesn't. It's still hearsay, Your Honor. May we approach it?
Well, one TikTok user made a video about how Amber could have sneaked some kind of
in.
substance in her tissue, pointing out that Amber never touched tissues that were provided for her on the witness stand.
I think I figured out exactly where she got the tissue from. I'm speculating here, but I think she's rolling something up in her sleeve. Now, if you notice, the position of this tissue never changes, so she didn't get it from there. I think it's possibly rolled up in her sleeve. Keep watching. Notice how she carefully rolls this one up and then stuffs it in her sweater. And that one she just shoves in there. That one she carefully rolls and tucks. This one she just kind of like shoves in there. Not as careful, not as pretty, okay? Okay, here we are at 1 hour, 37 minutes, 23 seconds. Tissue still in the same position, okay?
Okay.
Let's just fast forward through all of this till we get to that point. Okay, notice the tissue is still in the same position, but she's now looking down at her lap. What is she doing? Girl, I don't even know. Tissue's still in the same position. Now, the tissue is still in the same position. 1 hour, 46 minutes, still there. Then I notice she's just sitting nice and calm, just listening. Then she grabs something, I'm assuming from her sleeve. She wasn't sniffing before. Why did she need the tissue? She wasn't sniffing before she got the tissue. And once she got the tissue, then she started sniffing.
And even if you think that not even Amber would be so brazen to do something like that during a televised trial, you gotta admit the clip with the tissue looks extremely weird. Because who uses a tissue that way? You use it to blow or clean your nose, not to sniff. I don't know, I usually don't blow my nose like that, one Twitter user wrote. It's more absurd to brush it off, saying it was nothing. She was sniffing something, if not illicit substances. It's more absurd to think actors in these situations, especially Amber, wouldn't be able to get away with it. One fan said, Amber Heard sniffing that in the courtroom is the wildest thing I've seen in a minute, and I take the train damn near every day. And another person added, Amber, this is not an audition for a movie. Stop with the fake cry and sniffing. It's kinda...
So we covered this kind of a few episodes back where, or a few streams back where we were talking it might be peppermint oil, but since then, all these speculations have been coming out. I had read that, you know, sometimes actors will sniff peppermint oil before a scene to get their tears ducts going and to go to you know, to prime the pump, as to say. But you know, this does make sense, and the way that she went afterwards, like, that is indicative of someone who just did a line of cocaine. As somebody who started this stream out with a big story about doing cocaine. So, anyways, what are you guys talking about here? What the hell's going on? I think they're both guilty of being abusers. I do too, Morby. I do too. I think if he's not physically hurting her, I'm guaranteeing he gripped her up. But if he's not like hitting her, he's definitely verbal abuse. I definitely believe with that. But the case is only about Amber slandering him, right? Yes, it's about her op-ed that she wrote for the ACLU, who the ACLU then pitched to on behalf of Amber to the Washington Post, and which subsequently ended Johnny Depp's career. So yeah, it's damn, I missed the latest drug story. It's okay. That's how we started the show, is my trip to Disney World with my family. Cocaine, hangovers, smoking on the tram. It was just a mess. Technically these people, hold on, Das Morby, not to confuse law with morality. We just need to see Chris's face in comparison. Chris Rock's face. I wonder if he got swole. I can't agree with that, but at this point, it's who's scoring most lying points and about the relationship. Yeah, I can agree. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The inconsistencies between Amber Heard's testimony and past testimonies, and with Johnny Depp, who's been very consistent this whole time. He's been very direct about things. He's talked about things very directly, whereas Amber will show some signs of you know, not being direct, inconsistent, lots of different things that are weird. And I know I said we were gonna move on.
American.
No.
You have to stop waiting to kill your president.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? So here is that lady that we are all loving. She goes over a few of these this is what she
Bruise kit.
So this is what she was talking about, bruise kit. And she's like, oh, this is a Freudian slip. She said bruise kit.
I used a bruise kit.
So we went over that. And these are the bruise kits, which we went over that as well. This is Body Language Institute. Her TikTok is pretty awesome.
What did you do once the ACLU had your agreement to be the spokesperson for the op-ed, to put your name to it?
I sought the advice of my attorney.
And why did you do that?
Well, because I didn't want to get into any sort of legal issue. I didn't want to have any sort of legal problems for talking about what happens to women or people when they come forward and speak about these sorts of issues, especially when they come forward against someone more powerful than them. And that backlash, the retaliation that people face when they come forward, is exactly what I was writing about. And I didn't want Johnny to retaliate against me.
Scorn. So they're talking about scorn here. Stand by for a surprising ending connected with the OJ murder case. So yeah, it's gonna come up here soon. So this dude's another body language expert who worked on the OJ case.
House guest of OJ Simpson, who's being questioned by Margaret Clark, the district attorney, in an unfriendly fashion.
At the end of the year of 1993, he was dating Paula Barbieri, wasn't he?
And he's trying very hard to conceal how he's really feeling, which is he's very angry. And what he shows is a very fast micro-expression of disgust, anger, scorn. He does something like that, but he does it much more quickly than I'm doing it because it's a micro expression.
Mr. Kalin, you got a lot of money for your appearance on Current Affair, didn't you?
Yes.
What you're seeing is scorn, a combination of anger and disgust, wrinkling of the nose, raising and tightening of the eyes.
So that was her content. I wonder if she's released anything lately. Hold on. Body. Oh, what was this from? Oh, we can just go to her site here.
What did you do once?
Pause for the cause, baby. Let's see if she's released anything. She's actually at the trial right now. Oh, shit. She's got a new video. Let's see what she says. She's at the trial as a jury member right now. So I forgot her name. Janine Driver. Janine Driver. We watched a few of her videos last week, and she's so good. She's so good.
Not mean he likes you. It could be just a coincidence. Case in point today, if you were following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, well, Amber was on Cross just before Cross wrapped up. She was asked about this doctor, and Amber goes, "Oh, that's Johnny's doctor." But he saw me a couple times. And Camille, Johnny Depp's lawyer, said, "No, he didn't see you. He was also your doctor." She goes, "No, he was Johnny's doctor." And then Camille, Johnny's lawyer, killed it and played the soundbite from Amber in court where she said it was, in fact, her doctor. This is a pacifying gesture that we see Amber do. The higher the pacifier, the more stress and anxiety. Imagine if you rubbed your leg and said, "Who's on the phone?" Now your arm, who's on the phone? Now touch and rub your eye, who's on the phone? Who stresses you out the most? Amber's stressed, and it just happened to be a coincidence that Johnny put his glasses on. Just because someone mirrors you, ladies, it does not mean he likes you. It could be.
So there you go. She's talking about pacifying moments and stuff. Thomas had never heard such bullshit. Yeah. Well, so there you go, guys. I know that we went a long time on this Amber Turd case, but I just find it very fascinating, and how this one person could ruin someone's career, over a lie. Essentially a lie, and what that does to the movement itself, and how that can push a movement like Me Too back, which again, I think the Me Too movement had to happen. I think it was important for it to happen. I'm not some male feminist, fucking beta male, but I am saying that it had to happen. I think it was necessary to happen. But again, I do think that the pendulum swung too far in one direction. And, that is a problem. That is a problem because, again, there are liars. There are people who get angry, who get vindictive, who get jealous, and emotions and egos. And people could make shit up. And to get back at somebody, that's the ultimate payback, isn't it? If you got scorned as a lover, it's to ruin them in any way possible. So that's horrible. That's horrifying. And that could happen to anybody, So keep that in mind. And again, I'm not trying to say that Amber Heard is wrong or hasn't been abused, but I do think that there is some fuckery afoot. Just like how there's bad men, yes, of course, there's always bad women. Yes, can't just trust all women because that's biased as fuck. And yes, that's the problem with this whole believe all women thing. And it's like, whew, like I'm with you, man. I think you should believe women if they come forward with a claim like this. Yes, we should be believing them. But after investigation, if shit doesn't add up, well, then what are we doing then? What's happening then? Then we're doing something else. Then it's turning into something else. Where the fuck is it? So this is what was trending earlier. Camille Vasquez claiming Johnny Depp got Amber Heard the role in Aquaman. Let's see. Legends. Dr. Curry misdiagnosed Amber Heard after she agreed with Depp's team she would. She's not even board certified and she doesn't know how to use scales. Camille made the case look like a joke and botched the cross-examination. So they're talking bad. You know, that woman made this claim with absolutely no evidence. The way that she snickers at the end makes me so angry. Camille Vasquez is extremely unprofessional and condescending and misogynistic. Let's see what she said.
Mr. Depp mentions Aquaman, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Mr. Depp got you that role in Aquaman, didn't he?
Excuse me?
Mr. Depp got you that role in Aquaman, didn't he?
No, Miss Vasquez, I got myself that role by auditioning.
Mr. Depp mentions...
I'm just glad the next witness is by deposition, so we won't have to hear Camille Vasquez object every 3 seconds. That shit was funny too, where she just objects, object. So there you go. There's just, you know, there's people who are with her too, and that's fine. And I'm not against her, but again, we're looking at inconsistencies here. We're looking at different things. So, yeah, I want to become famous. Yes. Oh my God. Finally, I can be famous.